The end of the first weekend of the PCS PUBG Europe group stage is here, and the leaderboard table is starting to take shape. Will Razor Edge be able to learn from their mistakes, or will they still be outside the top 16 in the end of day 3?
Hey peeps, I'm Skeletoris and welcome back to the channel. But if you're looking to level up your gameplay, then hit that subscribe button along with the bell so we can advance to the next level together.
The first weekend of the EU PCS has shown that the open qualified teams are here to make a statement. Entropic's aggression has been too much for some teams, and El Giganton show the others what they're made of with 2 wins in the first 2 games of day 2. If you missed my day 1 or day 2 overview, then you can catch those just here. 2 teams that have really been struggling though in the EU PCS are ENCE and Razor Edge. ENCE look less confident than they have been in the past, their passive strategy not enabling them to rack up kill points. Razor Edge's strategy seems incoherent and disorganised, causing them to be in last place going into day 3. But will Razor Edge be able to turn their ship around, or are they heading straight over a waterfall and out of the competition? I can't wait to show you what day 3 has in store, including what is possibly one of the boldest and most crazy plays I have ever seen. Let's get into game 1 of day 3. We see Razor Edge pull up onto Northern Lights, and it seems they are trying to fix their mistakes from day 1. Unfortunately from Razor Edge, Northern Lights are able to defend their position, and Natus has to back out as the last man standing, but is soon found by better luck next time, and Razor Edge are out in 16th place. It doesn't look good if this is what we can expect from Razor Edge in day 3. Haiku crash Adepts trying to take advantage of their 2-2 split, but Adepts get a quick knock outside the compound and use the enclosed space inside to take out 2 more. The last player gets away but drives straight into Misfits and are eliminated. Haiku are currently in 15th place and it looks like they're going to stay there. After losing best luck early in the game to the Nuclear Penguins, NAVI surround them looking to take revenge. Boggart tries to escape NAVI when they knock and flushes off, but rides straight into ENCE, who have moved into position and tried to third party the action. NAVI sense that the Nuclear Penguins are weak and push them to take them out. NAVI show that if you mess with them, they're gonna take out your whole squad. ENCE then wait for NAVI to move to zone, and Tixu gets a great knock onto Tab as he rides in, but overexposes himself and is knocked by Senya. Kembat tries to flank around but is spotted, and ends up limping into zone instead of getting knocked by the blue. ENCE then take out Senya, leaving NAVI with just the 1 man standing. Tempers now stand between ENCE and the rest of the zone, and ENCE push onto them. This is definitely a more aggressive ENCE in day 3, which is great to see. They put up a good fight against Tempest, but are eventually taken out. It's a better start for ENCE. If they keep up this pace, they could see themselves in that top 16 at the end of the day. It comes down to Faze, Northern Lights, Adepts and NAVI as the last 4 in the game. Adepts and NAVI are lone snakes waiting for an opportunity to strike, while Faze and Northern Lights have a full squad who pepper each other with shots. Faze hold the whole of the eastern side of the circle and must feel confident as they try to outmaneuver Northern Lights. Both sides paying no attention to the 2 snakes as Kembat sneaks in behind Faze, using them as a shield and waiting for an opportunity to pick up some points. That time arrives and he knocks and flushes Gustav. He quickly disengages but leaves Faze confused and ill prepared. Noki, who wants in on the action, sneaks his way up to Kembat and he gets the jump onto him, but Kembat snaps onto Noki and Adepts are out in 4th. Northern Lights know Kembat is on his own and 3 man rush him to take out NAVI in 3rd. Faze is 1 man down and another is knocked, so Northern Lights push as 1. Fuzzface manages to get a knock onto Battleint before finally being overrun and Northern Lights take the match. Northern Lights came into day 3 in 16th place, but this game pushes them up 5 spots. Battleint admits Kembat helped them get that win, and explains in his interview that Northern Lights struggled in the previous day because the other big teams played the central positions that they were trying to play as well. They may be able to get a better position in the leaderboard on day 3, but they need to figure out how to deal with the other teams if they want to secure their spot in the finals after week 2. Game 2 then sees teams try to find the best compounds near the centre of the zone, and NAVI and Haiku pull up on the same one. NAVI don't want to take the risk and move on. Haiku still want a better compound and end up taxiing themselves to another, a risky move that finds themselves under a lot of fire, but one that works out. Razor Edge get into their first big engagement of the game and pull up on Wildcat, but find themselves down to a 2v3. Razor Edge eventually get out, but Wasted Potential get a knock onto Nalup as Razor Edge struggle to get into zone. Wookie Bookie gets a nice position behind Misfits and takes out Zembri with a cheeky peek. The zone goes to the fields east of Monte Nuevo, and teams have to find cover in their dips in the hills of the terrain, and the Nuclear Penguins try to get into the zone. They are blocked by Wasted Potential, who wipe them out. Wildcats find themselves pinned outside zone by Red Zone, who take out 2 of their players. The last Wildcat goes down to the zone. While Red Zone have been focusing on Wildcats, Haiku try to come up behind them, leaving the safety of one of the only compounds in the zone. This move backfires and they end up losing 3 men after only taking out 2 of the Red Zone players. Not a good payoff. Ents then try to secure a spot in the south of the zone, but NAVI really want to get in the circle too, and they force their way onto them and delete Ents from the server. NAVI continue to push in and take on Redline, who end up going toe for toe. Redline also stop Haiku getting into the circle behind them and focus towards NAVI, and is able to flank around and take out Senya. The next zone starts forcing teams out of any cover they have and further into the fields. NAVI find themselves surrounded by Better Luck Next Time and Redline, but Redline help them out by firing down onto Better Luck Next Time, which allows NAVI to get into the circle. Vesterlock then manages to get a knock onto Redline, but Tab is unable to find his first target, but gets his second. NAVI push the 2v2, but Marv knocks Tab, forcing Vesterlock to back off, but Redline don't let up, and Vesterlock finally succumbs to a molly. Northern Lights, who have been pretty quiet up to now, start taking shots at Wasted Potential and knock one of their players. Faze take advantage of the distraction and are able to eliminate Wasted Potential and move north to try to gain the high ground, but Tundo is waiting and ends up taking out Faze. After throwing a grenade, Uber continues to peek and Tundo is able to kill both 8C and Uber. The grenade then lands and Adepts are also out. The game comes down to Northern Lights and Redline in a 3v2. Freaky tries to loop around the western side, but the Northern Lights players spot him. They then push the final player from Redline and get a second win. Northern Lights have really stepped up their game in day 3, but even though they won the match, Redline get the first place on points as they managed 13 kills. Northern Lights say in their post-match interview that they had to play less aggressive. This was because one of their players couldn't get into the match, and their strategy was to make sure all 3 players made it to the late game, which proved to be the right strategy. By the way peeps, how are you finding this tournament? Is it what you expected from these teams? Let me know down in the comments below. Into game 3, and the Nuclear Penguins take pop shots onto Northern Lights, who realise Hellscream is on his own and crash the compound to get the kill. Misfits try to find somewhere safe in the zone and avoid fire from NAVI, but NAVI are split and Misfits pull upon Senya, who gets a quick knock onto Zeron. Another team using the split strategy to cover more ground is Rager Edge, which I find very surprising considering where they are in the leaderboard, but I guess they need to try something different if they don't want to stay at the bottom of the leaderboard. When the new circle shifts, Tempest and Etiquette crash the same compound, and things erupt. Etiquette get 2 quick knocks, but Pixel does manage to get Markelov, and that leaves Tommel the last man standing for Tempest. NAVI and Faze find themselves in a fight, but Fuzzface retreats when 2 of his own go down. 8C does get revenge onto Vesterlock as he tries to secure a vehicle. In Phase 4, Wasted Potential hold a strong position on the mountain in the central zone. The last 2 members of Phase try to sneak in behind and quickly take care of Fast Rail. Wasted Potential are also occupied by Etiquette and eliminate them before turning on Phase. Sophia knocks 8C and Fuzzface is forced to sneak around. Both Phase and Wasted Potential flank the same direction and miss each other as Ents now arrives to come up behind Wasted Potential. Fuzzface finds his revenge onto Sophia, but is soon taken out by Eriki. NAVI now find themselves in a poor position to the west of the zone and can be seen by Adepts and Ents. Tixu knocks Tab and Kemba is unable to get the heal off before dying to the zone, and NAVI are out in 12th place. Razor Edge have a long run into zone, and Ents are in a perfect position to pick them off and manage to take out 3 straight away. Razor Edge do get a knock onto a Wildcat, and the Wildcats opt to deny the last 2 players to zone. The last player of Razor Edge does eventually die to Ents, and they are out in 10th place. Red Zone and Haiku fight on the eastern side of the circle. It's not a good spot to be fighting as they both need to get to zone. Both teams manage to knock 2 players on each side, but it leaves them very exposed. Red Zone do res both players, but Haiku are hampered by Northern Lights and are taken out by Red Zone, who then move to cut off Northern Lights. Ents and Wasted Potential try to enter the zone at the same place, but Ents have the height advantage and take out Wasted Potential. The zone shifts and Ents, Northern Lights and Red Zone have a very open run to the zone. Red Zone know that they're not going to be able to make it, so instead opt to go for the frags and quickly take care of Northern Lights, who go out in 6th place. And as expected, Red Zone don't make it into the next zone. Adepts have the worst position of the last 3 teams and are taken out by Better Luck Next Time as they reposition for the zone. Game 3 then comes down to Misfits and Better Luck Next Time. Both these teams not doing so well on the leaderboard, so could really use the points. The zone shifts and favours Better Luck Next Time, who hold Misfits outside the edge of zone. They knock one, leaving it a 4v2, then find a nade onto Zembri and rush the last Misfits player, who won't go out without a fight, knocking Fate before the others take him out, and Better Luck Next Time win game 3. That 2nd and 1st place finish moved Misfits up to 21st and Better Luck Next Time to 18th. They both still need to do a lot more if they're going to be in the top 16. Standings show that Northern Lights are really taking advantage of day 3 and jump up 3 more places into 5th. Just quickly peeps, I'd really appreciate it if you head down and give this video a thumbs up. It really helps out the channel and lets me know that you're enjoying this video. The first Erangel game of day 3 has perhaps one of the best moments of PUBG esports that I have ever seen. Better Luck Next Time loot quickly and take advantage of a gunless NAVI. They chase them down on bikes and spin their vehicle before jumping off and firing into the car. Artix knocks 2 quickly and the NAVI player jumps out of the car and tries to punch him, but is quickly taken care of too. The chase continues as Fate follows Senya and Artix quickly catches up. He manages to spin the car again, giving him the time he needs to take Senya out. Some would say it's not a very sporting thing to do early on in a PUBG tournament game, but it certainly is entertaining to watch. Northern Lights crash a small shack, and although they take out Red Zone, it turns out to be a disaster for them. Battalions manages to nade 2 of his own players, and Faze come in from the east to mop up, and Gustav gets a perfect nade onto Perfectix. Razor Edge are caught in the blue by Wildcats, and this also gets the attention of Faze. Razor Edge go out in 13th place, and it seems less and less likely they will be able to do much this weekend to get into the top 16. Faze, who push up onto the Wildcats, fight each other as they move down the hill to get into the zone, but Faze find themselves in trouble as Redline and Etiquette can see them making their way down. The Faze players start falling one by one, and Fuzzface has to go prone in a dip to stop the barrage of shots, but is found eventually by Red Lights and Faze are out in 10th. The zone starts to get a bit hectic as teams are finding less and less hard cover. Tempers head straight to the middle of the circle and use their vehicles and the steep hillside to form a fortification and find themselves dead centre of the next circle that the other 6 teams need to move into. Red Line do a similar thing north of Tempers, but unfortunately the last Adept player comes up behind them, catches them off guard and just mows them down. As the Adept player tries to take advantage of the Red Line fortification, they are seen and taken out by Etiquette. Etiquette sweep the western edge of the circle, mopping up players from Wasted Potential and Better Luck Next Time. The last 4v4 with Etiquette and Tempers at the end of game 4. Tempers have the strongest position in the centre of the zone and spread out north to south to prevent Etiquette from moving around them. Both teams knock and flush a player, but with the blue behind them, Etiquette are feeling the pressure. Markelov tries to sneak behind Tempers while prone, but is spotted by Tomil, and Klib also gets a knock onto Quetper, making it a 3v1. Owner is finally found as he makes a break for it, leaving Tempers the winner of game 4. This was a big win for Tempers with 10 kills, and it jumps them up 6 places into 2nd place. Better Luck Next Time and Etiquette also did well and managed to get into the top 16 with their game 4 performance. But right at the bottom, Razor Edge, who are starting to get left behind, need to come up with something, anything, to make up the ground. In game 5 we see Wasted Potential and Northern Lights drop Novo together. Fast Rail gets knocked early and Wasted Potential are unable to get the res. Wasted Potential see red and push onto Northern Lights, managing to knock Spyro and Perfectix. They do flush Perfectix, but Northern Lights get the res onto Spyro. Micah tries to flank around the Northern Lights building, but is spotted by Deep. Wasted Potential are weak and Northern Lights decide to push back. Erky holds the staircase but can't find either of the Northern Lights teams, and Wasted Potential go out in 15th place. While that was going on, 2 of the Wildcat players get trapped by Go Black from Haiku, who gets a very good molly onto She Created. The rest of the Haiku team rock up and make quick work of the remaining Wildcats player. The other 2 Wildcats find themselves up against Red Line and end up going out in 16th place. The Phase 2 zone shifts to the north of Lipovka but leaves a 40-60 land-sea ratio, meaning there is not a lot of space for the remaining 14 teams. The Nuclear Penguins crash Haiku and knock the lone Haiku player in the single-story building. Boggart tries to push the other 3 on his own and is punished for trying. Zorf rains down fire onto Haiku, causing them to perhaps panic as they all end up lined up for Zorf, who gets a cheeky angle through a window, allowing him to spray them all down. NAVI are then pinned by Misfits as they try to enter the circle in the northwest. Senyu and Tab go to flank around the north of Misfits while Kemba gets a knock. NAVI are still angry from the game before and push hard onto Misfits, getting 2 more knocks before the last Misfits player quickly retreats. He doesn't last long though, as he finds himself pinned down by the Nuclear Penguins and is taken out by Adept. Tempers drive up onto the hill but are unaware that they are right next to Faze. Faze, however, take too long to organise themselves and are spotted before they can ambush Tempers. Uber goes down, and before Faze can react, Tempers decide to disengage and reposition. Razor Edge are near the centre of the zone in Phase 4 and are gifted 2 crates. This could be the extra firepower they need to boost their confidence in the penultimate game of the day, but only time will tell. Etiquette try to force their way into the zone, but take fire from the Nuclear Penguins, Adept and Razor Edge. They back out to the west and settle into a dip, but don't realise NAVI are above them. Senya is the first to spot them and tries to spray them down, but can't connect. Bestelok then arrives to knock the pushing Etiquette player, and starts to throw down grenades onto the rest of the Etiquette team and gets another knock. Bestelok eventually gets the final player, but not before Senya goes down to raise your edge. Faze Clan also make a run to the centre of the zone, but take fire from Adept and Tempest, but it's Raise Your Edge who knock and flush Gustav, while the remaining 2 Faze players try to use their vehicles and smokes to fortify their position. Ents push into Faze and manage to knock Fuzzface, but 8C fights back, gets an aid onto Squeaky, and gets the best of Rust and Mar before falling to Tempers from behind, but Razor Edge steal the kill on Rust and Mar. Razor Edge are certainly doing a lot better this game and are finding themselves with a few kills. Better luck next time move north into the next zone, but this time are met by NAVI who get the better of them. A little revenge from the previous game. Razor Edge are getting knock after knock and they look like a completely different team, and the game looks in their favour as the zone shifts towards them. Tempers find Nailep and use the opportunity to move up and take care of Ents to secure their position. NAVI meanwhile are trying to get past the depths, and Bestelok manages to molly Sunzi before getting knocked by Furax. Furax is found by Razor Edge, who are pushing up behind the depths, giving Kembat time to res Bestelok, but this allows Noki to reposition and get the best of the 2 NAVI players before dying to Razor Edge. NAVI go out in 4th and Adept in 3rd. Surprisingly, Razor Edge in 24th position are in the top 2 with Tempest, who are 2nd. Nailep is holding the back line for Razor Edge as they make their way back from pushing NAVI and Adept. Once the rest of his team have centered up, they must call for him to do the same as he starts to move back, but is seen by Clib and is quickly taken out. Razor Edge hold Tempest back for a while, but Tommel finds Monkey, making it a 3v2. The zone shifts in favour of Razor Edge, and Shiv gets Clib as he tries to move to the next zone, but Pixel finds his way in and is in a good position below the Wizard Tower. He traps Udir in the tower with mollies, allowing Tommel to flank to the south, but once the mollies disappear, Udir sees Tommel and stops his advance, but while he's occupied, Pixel rushes the tower and takes out Udir. Razor Edge had the gear, position and at one point the numbers, but now find themselves on the wrong side of a 2v1. I don't know what Pixel's trying to do, but he tries to climb on top of the Wizard Tower, leaving himself exposed and is taken out by Shiv. The odds are now better for Razor Edge in a 1v1. Shiv also has near perfect level 3 gear and the AKM. This should be Razor Edge winning. Both sides skirt around the Wizard Tower, but Shiv finds himself further from the centre, meaning he has to move to Tommel, who has a level 1 helmet and a broken level 2 vest. Even out of position, Shiv should win. Tommel gets damage onto Shiv and then backs off for better cover behind a rock. Shiv is unaware of where he is and Tommel again damages him, but Shiv is able to get a heal off. Tommel now only has 17 rounds left in his weapon, whereas Shiv still has the level 3 protection. The only thing going for Tommel right now is the fact that he has full health. Razor Edge should still win. In the end though, it's Tommel's full health that allows Tempest to get the win with 11 kills. I really did think Razor Edge were going to make a comeback there and get the win, but I think it all started falling apart for them when Maylup got killed earlier on. Perhaps the team called him back when the rest of the team centralised, but I think instead he should have held his position and hit so that he could either let Tempest past him so that he can flank later on, or surprise Tempest should they run over him. After that, Tempest did very well to gain position over Razor Edge and got themselves an excellent win. Razor Edge got themselves 15 points, which doubles their total. However, this only moves them up 2 spots and there is still a lot of work to be done from Razor Edge. We can see going into the last game of day 3 that the leaderboard is starting to split up. There's over 30 points between 1st and 3rd, 15 points between 4th and 10th, the bottom 6 of the top 16 has a gap of 20 points, and from 17th to 24th there's 20 points. A win and 10 kills can see a team move, but only if the teams above them don't do well. Let's see how the last game of week 1 finishes. Razor Edge want to try and maintain their momentum and get an early point from Wildcats. The Nuclear Penguins also get a point from Wildcats as they crash the Champions Hall north of Shelter. Ents try to enter the zone quietly to the north, but Faze are already in position, and they spring their trap onto Ents, who go out first in the final match of the weekend. Etiquette also tried to get into zone, but are met by NAVI, who take out 3 of the players. The final Etiquette player is found by Better Luck Next Time. Although NAVI come out on top, they do lose Kembat to the blue. Razor Edge are still feeling confident and push the Nuclear Penguins in the northeast. It's a battle between 2 teams at the bottom of the leaderboard, but the Nuclear Penguins are able to keep Razor Edge at bay and come out on top. Monkey going down literally on the edge of the blue, and Razor Edge are out in 12th and could do nothing else to improve their score this weekend. Faze control the whole of the northern area, but could find themselves in trouble should the zone shift south. Tempest move north and into Haiku outside of the zone. Clib and Wookie Bookie are taken out quickly, but Pixel tries to move to zone from range, but is found by Haiku's Go Black. Once Haiku have healed up, they make a dash for zone themselves. Faze, however, can easily see them from their high vantage point and eliminate Haiku. The zone shifts and Faze are still in a strong position to the north, high above everyone else. Misfits and Better Luck Next Time are occupied in the far west. Misfits get a knock and use the opportunity to move to the next zone, but find themselves flanked by Wasted Potential and Redline, who both take them out. Better Luck Next Time tried to get a res, but it's phase 6, so even though they managed to pull it off, it's just a waste of time. They then run straight into Faze, who are dominating the northern area, and deny Better Luck Next Time, who go out in 5th. Circle is kind to Faze again, and Wasted Potential, Redline and Wildcats have to move to them to get into the next zone. Wasted Potential can't get past Redline, and Fast Rail ends up denying the last point to Blue when Faze catches Airkey on the run. Faze start to pick off Redline as they move to zone, with a lovely nade from Fuzzface and Overwatch from Uber with the Orm. Wildcats have used this time to move up the eastern slope, but it's now a 4v2 and Faze don't look like they're letting up. Faze control the zone and Gustav is the one to spot she created first. The rest of Faze start firing shots and it's not long before Wildcats go down and Faze win the game with an astonishing 18 kills. What a game for Faze in the final match of week 1. Faze have managed to climb 5 spots in day 3 into 3rd place. But we also see some huge jumps from Adepts and Northern Lights, who move up 10 places from day 2 into 13th and 6th place. This last game has really shifted the leaderboard, as Better Luck Next Time moves 6 spots from day 3 into 14th place. What's important though is that 16th place spot. If DA double their points in week 2, then we're looking at a gateway mark into the top 16 at around 102 points. Not far off the casters' 105 to 110 prediction. For those teams below the 16th spot, there is a long way to go, and if they are in for any chance of reaching the top 16, they need to do as well, if not better, than the current top 8 teams. For a lot of these teams, it could be too much. To see more PCS roundups from me, then consider subscribing and clicking that bell so you don't miss out. While you're down there, make sure to hit that thumbs up button, and if you're looking to improve your own PUBG gameplay, you may like my PUBG warm-up video using the training mode. That's it from me today though, Skeletorus out.